Kami-sama-des. This is Kirby Miri here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to Shin Hayarigami 2. I'm so pumped to play this, I can't lie. Shin Hayarigami 2 and 3 are my personal favorites. Anyways, first of all, it's very good to see y'all again. I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all having a lovely day, afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking this moment of your time and watching today's video. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to drop the like button. It really helps a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel and want to join in on more fun adventures like this, then yeah, you're more than welcome to join. We would love to have you. Also, leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, we're back with Shin Hayarigami series. I've played the first Shin Hayarigami. If you guys want to see what the first game was about, I will be leaving a playlist link in the description. Although I am going to be giving you a short brief summary as well if you don't want to watch the whole thing. So yeah, what's Shin Hayarigami? For the most part, for the most series in general, except Shin Hayarigami 1, it's mostly about a detective who investigates urban legends, and pretty much they just have to figure out if whatever the hell is going on is something that can be occult, which is like supernatural phenomena that it's spirits doing or monster doing whatsoever, or a scientific path, which would be something that's common sense and that can be explained scientifically. Pretty much. That's what Shin Hayarigami series has been for the most part, except Shin Hayarigami 1. Yeah, that's kind of what the series is in general. It's a visual novel horror game, and they're pretty long. I think they're even more longer than the Spirit Hunter series, I would say. And it's because of the so many branching path choices. Anyways, before we begin with the game, I do want to give you guys the brief summary of Shin Hayarigami 1 so you can get an idea. But if you guys don't want to get spoiled, I'm going to be putting a timestamp right here so you guys can skip the entire thing. And again, I already mentioned that I will be leaving a playlist in the description for Shin Hayarigami 1 if you want to know what the story is about. But yeah, anyways, let's just get started with the story of Shin Hayarigami 1. I apologize if this intro is long. It's gonna be a little bit long, so yeah. But I will be putting timestamps once the stream is over, because I'm going to be pre-recording live streaming this just like the first Shin Hayarigami. Anyway, so let's get started. So Shin Hayarigami 1 takes place in S Prefecture, Village C. Our main girl, which I named her Natimari. She's a cop who works at a small department that's not very well known, and it's called the SLEU. I think it stands for Special Law Enforcement Unit, if I recall. And it was just 3 members there. It was just her partner Hayato Kasamori, and their boss Kunio Kuroda. There was another woman as well named Misu Tachibana, one of the main character's best friend, who works particularly with the 1st Investigative Division in the Forensics Department. And all these 4 people are working together in trying to solve a mysterious case that's been happening in their village. Basically, there's a killer known as Blindman, an urban legend about a killer named Blindman, basically, where he stalks people at night and takes their eyes out with scissors and their tongues out, pretty much. So apparently there's someone who's mimicking the Blindman killer. So during this case, it all starts with a professor named Sojiro Sekimoto, who was obviously convicted for a crime that apparently he did, where he murdered a student. And just when they were about to convict the man, he came up and said that he had some very important info that may help the team who's working on the Blindman case. And so that kind of caused a bit of a commotion within the court, but in the end, they decided to let him be temporarily free, only to help that team with the case. So, they bring in the professor from Tokyo to S Prefecture, Village C, yeah. And so basically the entire case is just trying to figure out who the hell is Blindman. And everything starts with a bunch of interviews first. There are 3 people that they interview. One of them is Haruka Minase, a young girl who's a college student who works as a hostess in a club. And she's been through some very horrible things, unfortunately. And then the second one is the Tsunahori family, particularly interviewing the father, Mr. Tsunahori, who they had some financial problems with the victim. And then the last one, who is Sanae Makimura, who works at a welfare care center, taking care of the elderly. But she didn't know much about the victim. Anyways, all of these interviews sort of lead to nothing. And it takes them a long time to sort of progress through the case. So there are unfortunately more victims after that. An old lady named Mrs. Watari dies. And there's also a family that was found dead as well, which I think they were the first victims, the Takenaka family. So yeah, there were a bunch of people already dead. Eventually, our main girl suspects one particular person named Hiromu Kanaya. And she suspects him because she's seen him in all of the crime scene photos from all 3 cases. From the first one being Tamara, the second the old lady, and then the last one, which was the Takenaka family. And basically Kanaya is connected literally to everything that's going on, although he himself is not the actual Blindman, but he is connected in many ways with Blindman. So what ends up happening is that we suspect Kanaya and we stay watch for him, but then things turn south way too quick when he becomes insane all of a sudden, and he becomes I would say, like, how do they call them? Gakis? Like in Kuons? That's kind of what happened to Kanaya. Kanaya had murdered his entire family, and then unfortunately the biggest tragic incident that happens in Shin Hayarigami 1 is that Kanaya kills our partner Kasamori. He takes a chunk out of his neck and he dies of blood loss, pretty much, which is very tragic. And shame on you, devs, for killing Kasamori like that. Anyways, so after that, it is assumed that Kanaya is Blindman. And we discovered that he had been taking some special diet pills, and apparently these diet pills are meant to help you lose weight without having to exercise or eating less. I mean, how do I put this without eating too much? Like, you could still eat, but you wouldn't eat a lot. But the meds also has some very intense side effects that would cause him hallucinations and a bunch of other things, and that's what ended up happening with Kanaya. The medicines took so much effect on him that it just drove him insane and did all that things. And while we question Kanaya on whether he was the culprit or not, he sort of admits that he did kill the first victim, and he also killed his family and Kasamori, but he says that those other victims, like the old lady and the Takenaka family, they were not killed by him. And so apparently he knew who Blindman was, but he unalives himself, which makes the whole case difficult, because essentially he knew who Blindman was and he just chose to end himself, which was pretty wild. The case is still unsolved. There are some things that are clear, but it's still unsolved. And suddenly the court decides to take Sekimoto back to Tokyo because, they sent him in to solve the first victim's case, and I guess they don't care about the other victims, I don't know. And so they wanted to bring him back because they thought he wasn't going to be necessary for the investigation anymore, and so leaving the others to do the solving the case by themselves. But during the transporting of Sojiro Sekimoto, something happens. And they're stopped in the middle of the road, and unfortunately they find the dead corpse of Haruka Minase the girl who was the hostess club. And yeah, basically it's a very wild death. Her death was far more worse than the others. I'm not gonna go into details because it's very disturbing. But anyways, it's enough distraction for Blindman to strike in, kill the driver, then make the car drive on its own. Our boss Kuroda tries to stop the car because Sojiro Sekimoto is still inside the car, but when he gets inside, he apparently says that Sekimoto is not inside anymore, and then he falls off with the car through the cliff and goes bye-bye, basically. And basically, the only one left is our main girl, and she sort of gets betrayed by Sojiro Sekimoto, and then we wake up in a slaughterhouse. And we finally figure out who the killer is, and it was Sanae Makimura, the girl who basically said that she knew the victim when we were doing the interviewing. She's actually Blindman herself, and she kind of confesses everything about how it all led up to that point. So basically, what happened is Sojiro Sekimoto, he's a professor, mostly folklorist, and he's also into urban legends. And he decided to create an experiment of an urban legend named Blindman to see how far would the rumors spread and all of that. He wanted to do something about a misinformation type project. And so what ended up happening was this whole mess. So basically it started with the Takenaka family, which they were the first victims. The son Takenaka, I'm gonna call him Son Takenaka. I forgot his name. He used to date Sanae Makimura, and they were in a loving relationship, but apparently Takenaka was Sojiro Sekimoto's student, so he was also part of the project of Blindman, and I guess he felt traumatized about Blindman, even though he knew that it was just a fake thing, but he still felt scared about it. And then a bunch of bad things happened, which I can't go into detail because it's very disturbing. But basically, let's just say he harmed Makimura in many ways. And then eventually she just assumed that he just wanted to die. So she killed him. Not only that, but she also killed his parents because she assumed that they too wanted to die. I don't know what made her think that, but yeah, that's what she said. And then after that, she leaves the house covered in blood. I mean, I don't know why she didn't think of cleaning herself up at least, but she just left like that. And then unfortunately she gets discovered by Kanaya, and things take a turn for the worse for that. So basically Kanaya, he had a crush on Haruka Minase. He wanted her to be his girlfriend. But Haruka obviously didn't felt the same for him. And so, because of that, he would take out his frustrations with Sanae Makimura, and he did some pretty horrible things to her as well. But, I mean, what do you want me to say? It's a very heavy subject. And so, eventually, Sanae Makimura couldn't handle this anymore, and she knew that she couldn't kill him the same way that she did with the Takenaka family, because he had recorded her in her bloody clothes threatening her. So there was a video out there. So she devised another plan in trying to get Kanaya out of her life, and this plan was to give him the diet pill. So she lied to him, saying that Haruka would be with him if he started to lose weight. And so he listened to everything she said, and he took the diet pills, and look what happened. He just ended up like a crazy monster. But then she admits that even though she was finally free, she didn't felt, I guess she was feeling empty in a sense, and so she wanted to feel needed again. And that's when she got obsessed with Takenaka's professor Sojiro Sekimoto, and she began to send him a bunch of letters saying that she was Blindman and that she kind of wanted to meet him and all of that, which is basically what led to Sojiro Sekimoto confessing that he knew some info for the case during court trial, and the reason why he came to S Prefecture Village C was all because of her. In the end, Sanae tries to kill our main girl, but in the end, Sekimoto jumps in and kills Makimura. His whole plan this whole time was to pretend that he was an ally to Makimura, so that then when the time was right, he could strike in and attack her, because he knew that Makimura was very insane, very psychotic. We saw it in the extra cutscenes. He knew that she was just an insane woman, and so he felt responsible for all the entire incident. He felt like all of this was caused because of him, although he shouldn't be feeling that way. It's not entirely his fault. He didn't know this would happen, but it happened. But still, he felt responsible, and he decided to own up to his actions and put an end to the creation that he himself made. After that, unfortunately, he still ends up going back to jail. And the higher-ups decided to basically wipe out everything that happened in Village C. They decided to, I guess, form a different story so that people wouldn't suspect the actual true story, because there were a lot of victims, and not only that, but 2 of those victims were cops, and that alone would have had some of the people from the higher-ups be fired. So for them to not have that happen, they decided to wipe a lot of what actually happened in the event, including the fact that Sekimoto was ever in S Prefecture Village C. So in a sense, they technically would mean that he didn't even save the main character, even though he did. Which our main character find it unfair, but he decided to accept his fate at this point. And at least the court trial was more merciful of him. They did not give him the death sentence or the life imprisonment. They just decided to give him a bunch of years in jail. I don't know exactly how many years was he supposed to stay in jail. It doesn't say in the game, but I'm pretty sure it was a very long time still. Basically, it's a very depressing ending. It was a lose-lose situation from start to end, unfortunately. And as for our sole survivor, she was currently working at a regional division, if I remember. I don't remember much where she was working, but she's still working in the police force, but as something else for now. And yeah, that's where Shin Hayarigami 2 comes, where our main girl is going to be going back into detective life and will be solving mysterious cases. Yeah, I'm so pumped to play this. Oh, and before we continue, I do want to emphasize on why I didn't play the other chapters of Shin Hayarigami 1. So, in Shin Hayarigami 1, after you finish the main story of Blindman, there are more chapters, but these are actually variations of Blindman. It's like different versions of Blindman. There are different versions of Blindman. One can be Blindman doll, one can be Blindman zombie, one can be Blindman spirit, or Blindman parasite. And it's like an alternate universe. It's the same characters. Even Kasamori, in a sense, is alive in those other timelines and whatever. Or there's even a timeline where our main girl and the professor have a romantic moment. There's things like that, but I didn't play them because I just simply wasn't interested enough to do those. Like, why would I want to play alternate versions of Blindman when I already know the Blindman story itself? Like, if it was like different types of entities, then maybe I would have played them, but if it's that doesn't interest me. So yeah, I apologize in advance if you guys wanted to see the other chapters and I didn't get to play them. But I will be leaving a link in the description for a Japanese channel that I watched called Sune. She played Shin Hayarigami 1 and she also played the other chapters. So if you guys want to see what the other chapters look like, then I will leave that link to her channel so you can go and show her some love and support as well. Anyways, Shin Hayarigami 2, I do want to say The gameplay is completely different from Shin Hayarigami 1. Shin Hayarigami 1 was mostly pure raiding and some choice decision making, and there was also the Liar Czar, which I didn't like in the first game. Like, the Liar Czar in the first game is my least favorite. I found it a bit hard to understand it, but in Shin Hayarigami 2, the Liar Czar is better. I'm not gonna like go into details because I don't want to spoil it. And in Shin Hayarigami 2, there are also more chapters, just like the first one, obviously, but in this one there are different stories. It's not like variations or anything like that. It's like legit stories, and each chapter has their own paths as well. Like, literally, if you chose a occult path, you get one separate story, and if you go scientific route, you get a completely different story. So that's why the game, I feel like it's longer than the Spirit Hunters series because of all of this. What else can I say? Oh yeah, there another new gameplay mechanic that they added was the self-question, which was something that the old Hayarigami games had. Self-question is like when you're asking questions to yourself and you try to conduct a conclusion of what you think is happening so far through the case. And also, there, for the most part, there's going to be new characters, like new characters, because obviously in Shin Hayarigami 1 a lot of them die, so it's obvious that there's going to be new characters. Obviously our main character is the only OG character who's returned from Shin Hayarigami 1, but the rest of the other characters are just completely new characters. So yeah, I think that's about it with the intro. I'm so sorry if I made this intro super long. I will do my best to cut them out because I did pause myself a lot. Anyways, that is pretty much it. I am very excited to get this one started, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's going to be a very long series, much like the first one. I am going to be making hour-long videos, but this one is going to have more parts. Because the first one with Blindman, I think you could like finish it in like 6 hours, I believe. But with this one, yeah, it's going to be more than 6 hours, obviously. Also, obviously, I did translate the game. I already have the transcript right beside me over here. Anyways, I prefer to like have it translated. I feel like if I try to do things at the moment and try to read through the Japanese text and then translating it at the same time, and then I have to edit it on top of that and then put the text too, it's gonna be a lot of work. I'd rather have less work than you know, torture myself and giving myself more work. I need to think about my mental health. So yeah, I know some of you can be butthurt because my reactions may not be as legit as when I played them the first time, but I just had to like do this for me. Like I need to take care of myself too, so I apologize for that, but I'm gonna do my best to still entertain you guys and also tell you how I felt in those moments. So yeah, that's pretty much it, what I can say. I keep on talking and then I keep on stumbling on my words, and so yeah, I'm literally the character from Fruit Basket saying I'm sorry because I'm constantly apologizing. Anyways, enough of talking. We're just going to be playing Shin Hayarigami 2 officially, and we're gonna get started. I hope you guys enjoy the series, and yeah, let's get to it. Urban Legends. It's like a message game that goes on and on, involving hundreds of thousands or even millions of people. A friend of a friend. A creepy story about an unknown person who tells you about it. I love this music, very Silent Hill type. But it's often just false stories. Ooh. High school girls! Hey, do you know this story?
Huh? What? Well... I heard this story from a friend of a friend a while ago. They said that an elementary school student was walking alone at U Valley Dano, and that behind him was a woman wearing a mask. She said, "Am I pretty?" Ah, I know that story. It's a famous one. Yeah, but there's more to this story. Huh? That woman was bullied severely when she was a child, and she was dragged from limb to limb and forced to eat toads. And because of that, her grudge grew. What? It sounds different from what I know. She usually hides under a bench in the park, and when she sees couples making out there, she cuts the woman's ankle with a knife. You also must be careful. If the woman asks you, "Do you have piercings?" and you respond, "Yes," what happens? She'll rip your earlobe off!
They're like, what? Oh my goodness.
This is a mixture of different stories, isn't it?
It's not! Well, that was a quick intro. There is no such thing as a person in this world who doesn't lie. Lying is as much a necessary means of survival in the modern world as telling a lie. Therefore, no matter how noble justice may be presented to me, no matter how dazzling ideals may be held up, I will not believe in such things. However, when we accept lies as a necessary evil, we realize that they become the most reliable weapons of all. I know. Ta-ta. I was ready for that. The intro! Ah! This intro is amazing, by the way, so... Oh, good God. Also, I did not translate the intro. I apologize for that. Yeah. Woo! Hell yeah! Our girl! Saki Hojo, Natty Marie. This is our partner, Sena Aizen. And this is Shintaro Mimi. This old man over here, this is Masaomi Koketsu. Yeah. Mitsuko Kisaragi. And there's our team! Woo! Woo! I sound like an immature child, so excited. That's my cat, if you heard that noise. Woo, the team! Hell yeah! This is is amazing. Hey! Woo! This is amazing. There's our girl. Ourselves. Hey, Shin Hayarigami too! Ah, I've been so excited to play this! Yo! Oh, we got a trophy. Alright. Hey! 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 Alright. I take a deep breath in front of the towering large building. The right plate has the words Chief Prefectural Police Headquarters engraved on it. I think I hear a car, by the way. Sorry about that. The new government building, which is adjacent to the prefectural office, was built less than 10 years ago, so it looks brand new. Yeah, I can tell. From today onward, in this place, and just 1 second, I need to put the name. Alright then, this is going to be the name I'm going to be giving my main character. It's going to be Nati Marie. I wanted to originally put Kirby Marie, but the problem is that because this is in Japanese, they only accept 3 letters. Because kanji, for the most part, has like only 3 symbols, I would say, for the name. So trying to write it Kirby in katakana is longer, and so it wasn't going to fit in the name. So I decided to give the main name Nati, which is short for my actual full name of Natalia. That's my name. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm Natalia. Anyways, let's just jump right into it. This is the name I'm choosing. Nati Marie. Nati Marie will work here. Nati Marie, yeah! Alright.
I thought I'd be living in Village C for the rest of my life. But I never expected to be transferred to another prefecture.
A few days ago, I was working in the regional division of the S Prefectural Police C Village Branch Station, and before that, I close my eyes and remember the past. This happened years ago. I wish I would put some music. This feels too silent. A terrifying incident happened due to the lack of jurisdiction of the S Prefectural Police C Village Branch. Commonly known as the Blindman incident, it shocked the nation as a tragedy rarely seen in Japanese criminal history. Tutorial. Yeah, so this is a tutorial for the FOAF files. These are basically whenever they talk about important urban legend creatures or other important events that have happened in Japan. There's going to be some new info, a notification on the corner, and basically means that there's a new file that you can read if you like. Yeah, right there where my camera is covering up. Oops. So yeah, and I think the first file was the Blindman one. I didn't see because my face cam is covering it. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, I'm gonna skip a little bit of the tutorial, but yeah, there's a lot of documents that we're gonna need to be collecting. Anyway, among the victims were my dear friends. If I had a stronger heart then, I would have not lost them. I would have been able to save them if I hadn't been so consumed by the strangeness, tragedy, and fear that was in front of me. Okay. And yet, I question why am I the only one who is living a leisurely life. There's not a day that goes by that I don't regret what happened that day. Nah, girl, don't feel bad about yourself. Don't be like that. This ending left a bad taste in their mouths, and the special police department I belonged to was disbanded. Not only that, but in exchange for an unusual promotion, I was firmly told by my superiors to keep silent about the incident and was assigned to the regional division. Yes, I knew it! It was the regional division. Good God, I thought I'd forgotten. Naturally, no objections were allowed. The police organization, or perhaps an even bigger force, was at work here. 2 years have passed since. While I was smoldering in the regional division, I was suddenly given a transfer order. Ooh, mysterious. I was transferred to G Prefectural Police Main Detective Department Investigation Division 1, Force Crime Section. Even though it is in a rural area, it is an appointment that will bring me back to work as a detective on the front lines. I couldn't help but shake my head. It's glorious right now. That's the tutorial for the keywords. I'm cold. Yeah, so this is basically a tutorial where the green highlights are your keywords, because in the end of each case, you basically have to do something called, I think, detective logic, where you sort of compile everything you learn about the case and then answer these questions with the keywords that you have. And if you answer correctly, then you basically get the good ending. If you don't, you get the bad ending. And these keywords are your essential items to be able to answer those questions. By the way, I ain't gonna lie to you all, but I'm having a terrible tummy ache. That is so bad. So, you know, just in case if you guys see a bunch of jump cuts, it's because of that. I am so sorry. Anyways, let's just continue, and hopefully I can survive the tummy ache. Alright. But at this point, there was no way for me to know that everything had been set up and that this was just the beginning of a strange new incident. As I face the housing duties again as a detective, I find myself feeling tense. I puff out my chest, straighten my back, and take a deep breath. Yeah! I am ready for this! The Blindman incident made me realize how immature I was at the end of my life. I don't want to feel like that again. It's not because I was scared. Though as a detective, I can't help but feel angry at myself for having to be so miserable and scared. Therefore, no matter what difficulties or fears I face, I will always overcome them. I made a firm promise to myself as I headed towards the entrance. It's me, baby! Me! Natty Mary! Oh wait, there's no one there. So before I was transferred, I did some research on G Prefecture. According to what I found, G Prefecture is an inland prefecture located in the T region with mountainous areas including the H mountain range in the north and a water district center on the K, N, and L rivers in the south. Okay? Region M in G Prefecture once held the same spot as S Prefecture for having the highest temperature in the country at 40.9 Celsius. Wow. Speaking of famous things, the ones that immediately come to mind are cormorant fishing, sweetfish, and Hida beef atari. I've never had any of those, if those are food related. Why is it so silent? It's eerily silent. The G Prefectural Police Department is located right next to the G Prefectural Office. There are 22 police stations. There are 8 internal organizations: General Affairs Office, Police Department, Life Safety Department, Criminal Investigation Department, Traffic Department, Security Department, and the Police Academy. I was assigned to the 1st Investigative Division within the Criminal Investigation Department. I stand in front of the door of the 1st Investigative Division, take a deep breath, and prepare myself. I'm so nervous! I'm so nervous! Oh my goodness. The beginning is the most important thing in everything. I made up my mind, took the plunge, and opened the door to the 1st Investigative Division. Hey, the music! Hello everyone! My name is Natty Marie, and I came from S Prefectural Police Department. As of today, I have been assigned here with all of you. Although I'm young, I will appreciate your guidance and encouragement. I sound like an excited child. I was so excited about the greetings I have practiced many times in my head in anticipation of today's day. I gave myself a scoring of 120. Yes, I pat myself on the back because I did pretty good, you know? But the reality is sad. No one seemed to be interested. I glanced up and what I saw was people concentrated in their works. Well, so much for that practice intro. Huh? Are they ignoring me? Oh hell no, you better not be ignoring me! I'm Natty Marie! You can't be ignoring me! Although I'm overwhelmed by the sense of being left behind, I decided to leave it at that. Unlike the regional division of Village C Branch Police Station, the first division looks extremely busy. Oh, whoa, you really came! Oh, hi there. Suddenly I see the figure of a middle-aged man cradling his steaming head, his armpits not rising. He stands out in the investigation department, which is full of people. Yeah, she's saying it because he looks like a bobolong, I would say.
Excuse me, but who are you?
You don't know? Did you come here without knowing that? Yeah, I'm literally new, bro. Whatever. I am Ichiro Tanaka. I am the chief of the 1st Investigative Division.
Huh?
Yeah, he so doesn't look like a strong chief, you know what I'm saying?
This...
No way. This person is the 1st Investigative Division chief? No matter how I look at it, he just looks like a tireless office worker who lost the battle for promotion and was relegated to the window. I mean, that's a good way to put it, I guess. However, there is a saying that a capable hawk hides its claws. Since he's the head of the 1st Investigative Division, he must be an excellent detective. Maybe. Maybe. So, Natty Marie. Without further ado, there is a case that I would like you to take charge of.
Yes!
Yes! Oh my goodness. I haven't felt this excited for a new job as a detective in a long time. Woo, 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 woo! That is literally me on the inside. The reason you were assigned here was because of an incident, or rather, it was the chief director's orders.
Oh.
Furthermore, the deputy chief also said that the order came from the chief director himself. The word nuisance is clearly visible on the chief's face as he continues to sweat and continues to talk. Hey bro, don't be sweating, you're gonna wet the whole floor and people are gonna think you pee yourself or something. Most likely, deep down, I think that my transfer, which was imposed on him from above, is nothing more than a nuisance to him. I mean, basically, he hates me already.
If you didn't want to accept me that much, maybe you should have turned me down?
Don't be stupid! It's suicidal to go against your superiors in a police organization, you know? Young people these days don't really understand anything. Ichiro Tanaka. This man seems to be the type to absolutely obey superiors. In this short conversation, I could clearly see that he was able to survive within the organization by just doing that. Listen, Marie, you were called here to solve a certain case. And I think it's a great honor. There's no doubt that he has some kind of plan since he went out of his way to pull me from S Prefecture. However, even if I was told this was an honor, it would be impossible to feel like that, as I have not been informed of the outline of the incident yet. If this is truly an honorable mission, I would like for him to at least treat me more respectfully. Yeah, bro! I'm doing your job, bro! It's not like he's being disrespectful or super honorable by taking it so seriously.
Of course. I'm not saying you must do it alone.
Maybe it's because I look dissatisfied, but Chief Tanaka hurriedly added more context to the case. Absolute obedience to those above. I can see it in his face. This person is a model of a middle manager. Of course, that's ironic. Ironic, isn't it?
But I don't think you should have been partnered with him.
Him?
Yes, him. But it seems like this is an order from the chief director, so there's no way I can disobey him. Not at all anymore. I wonder what the person above is thinking.
Chief Tanaka is so concerned about this that he keeps grabbing his thinning hair and keeps repeating, "It's impossible! It's impossible! It's impossible!" Oh, good God. Is he that unbearable because of my transfer? Or is it because of this him who will I be introduced to now? Probably both. It would be a waste of time to continue to deal with Chief Tanaka's complaint. Let's hurry up.
So, Chief Tanaka, who will oversee the case with me?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it can be helped. Follow me.
With complete resignation, Chief Tanaka leads me to a desk by the window.
Here, meet your new partner.
Oh my goodness! Who is that bizcochito? Oh my goodness. I can't believe my eyes. Yeah, I can't believe them either. He's a punk! There's a punk in the police force. No, there's nothing unusual about having punks in the police force. I mean, wasn't our old partner Kasamori also a punk? I mean, I kind of recall him acting very punk-like too. When I was working in the regional division, I dealt with punks from everywhere, almost every day. The problem is, this punk in front of me has been introduced as my partner.
Chief Tanaka, excuse me, but is he...
That's right. He's your partner, Aizen.
At the chief's calling, the region, called Aizen, looks up as if he had no other choice. Hola! Oh, good God. Then he looks at me, visibly upset.
Hey, are you serious? Just when I thought I finally had a partner. Oh, please, give me a break. A woman?
Oh, excuse me? Oh, good God. The police organization is a man's society. It's not uncommon to come across detectives who reject you just because you're a woman. Yeah, women can't do job. Women go to house to do the dishes and clean the house and serve food to husband. That's what women are used for, according to certain men. Okay. I'm used to be seen as a different person whenever I go. However, I sense that his reaction is different from the usual ones. Why is it so silent again, by the way? Oh, there we go.
Let me introduce him again. Sena Aizen. His rank is police officer, 25 years old. From today onwards, he will be your partner.
Oh, Sena Aizen?
Hey, Sena is written as Sena, and Aizen is written like the Aizen meal. Here you go.
He pulls out his business card out of his pocket and hands it to me. As I see, it says Chief Prefectural Headquarters, Investigative Division 1, Officer Sena Aizen. It seems like his business card is real. I mean, Obviously, he's a police officer, so his business card obviously has to be real.
Huh? But...
When I look at his face, there's definitely a punk there. Also, the name written on the business card seems to be the Minamoto name that Kabukicho Atari's host would give. What? Oh my god, I forgot how wild she would think about that. Punk host. Punk host. I keep comparing his face with this business card, but I can't seem to wrap my head around it.
Are you a host or
Something on the side? Why would you ask that? Huh? You idiot! In what world there's a detective who addresses someone like that?
No, I mean, it's because this name...
I won't forgive you for making fun of the name my parents gave me in hopes of making me the fastest man in the world, alright? In this short conversation, I still see him as a punk. Is this really my new partner? No, you shouldn't judge people by their appearance. I know, but I can't even criticize my partner.
Well, it looks like you've already been introduced to each other, and now we're on topic. Please, don't cause any problems. Here's a case file.
Chief Tanaka, sensing the disturbing atmosphere, said as much as he could and quickly ran back to his seat. That's literally What? Am I some sort of curse or something?
Alas, I was free from pouring tea and collecting copies, and I thought I'd be able to work like a detective. But I don't know what they're thinking about teaming me up with a woman. I've been burdened with a lot of baggage.
What's that? I could have let it pass, but I won't let a punk take control of this. Oh yeah, these are some of the yeah, this is a tutorial for the choices you make during the dialogues. Some choices do require courage meter, which is like, I guess in a sense, something brave that you do. Although courage meter is not always a good thing, and that was my first mistake when I played the second game. I chose something with courage meter related, and it wasn't. I mean, it didn't cause any major dramas, but it wasn't a good choice, and you'll see right now because I am going to be making that same choice again. So yeah, basically it's like that. And the problem with courage meters though is that if you waste them all and then you continue with the game, some choices require that. So you kind of won't be able to choose those options again. And you have to be careful because some of the choices, whether it has the courage meter or not, it could lead to a bad ending, a game over. So you gotta be careful with your choices right there. But this time, I'm gonna be a perra and counterattack him. I decided to respond him back. Now, baka you motherfucker.
That's my line. I was transferred from the regional division, and I didn't expect to come here to the first investigative division to babysit a punk.
Who are you calling a punk? You amateur!
Aside from you, where are the other punks in this division?
His hands crackle, and I can see Chief Tanaka holding his head in his hand. Is it just me or is his hair getting thinner? Oh my god.
This is truly the worst team up!
Oh yeah, there's a tutorial for the I would call it branch tree path. Yeah, it's that. It's kind of like Detroit Become Human in a sense, with the branching path choices whatsoever. So these branching paths is basically lead you to coming back and redo the other choice again, so you can see a different cutscene. That's pretty much it. Well, for our first impression with my new partner, this ended in the worst possible outcome. But I find that to be convenient. During the Blindman incident 2 years ago, everyone who was involved with me died, as if I am a curse. The curse of death. I don't even deserve to have friends like that. There's no need for something like a partner. No, don't say that, girl! It's unlikely that something like that will happen again, but if I were to recognize this man as my partner and then lose him forever like my other partner, my ego would collapse in the blink of an eye, and I'm sure I will never be able to live well in this world again. I shouldn't be deeply involved with anyone anymore. All I must do is focus on fulfilling my assigned household duties. Yes, this is why I came to G Prefecture. This is a battle just for me.
Hey, why did you go silent suddenly? You're not going to cry, right?
Don't be stupid. Why would I cry over such things?
He seems to think that I'm going to cry, but unfortunately, I have no tears left to cry. I ain't got no tears left to cry.
Oh my god. Alright. Glad you're fine, though.
Anyways, I was thinking about the case we've overseen. I know it's just a matter of time, but it seems like a troubling incident.
Oh, well, this is the first time I've heard of this happening directly.
Is that so? The chief told me that he doesn't know who the chief director is.
I see. That again.
What's wrong?
No, it's nothing. It's just, I've never met the chief director at all either. Not just me. No one has ever seen the chief director.
No one has ever seen the chief director? Could something like that really happen? Okay, so we have two choices. Hold back and not ask, or ask about it. Pero, I'm a chismosa! Well, not really, I'm just joking. But I'm still going to ask about it. Hey, the music is fire! Oh my god. I decided to ask about it.
What do you mean? No one has ever seen the chief director?
Certainly, it is understandable that once you become the chief of the prefectural police, ordinary police officers and chief sergeants have fewer opportunities to meet them. However, I think it's an exaggeration to say that not a single person has met him.
The story about the chief director has become an urban legend within the G Prefectural Police Department.
The existence of the chief director is an urban legend. What kind of organization is this place anyway?
At important reunions, his name is only mentioned, and he doesn't show up. Rumor has it that most of the work is done by the Deputy General Manager. Because of this, people say that the chief director is a spirit or that he's a spy and is trying to stay out of the public eye. Actually, some say he's not human, but an amazing computer that gives instructions. If I keep going, we'll be discussing rumors all day.
What? An amazing computer? What era is this from? A science fiction movie?
Well, regardless of whether the rumors are around that are true or not, It is true there is such an urban legend that the chief director will never show up.
He seems to have noticed my dismay, and he replies again to the original question. Indeed, there is no smoke without fire. Even he, who doesn't seem to be particularly interested in urban legends, knows about it. The story about the chief director not showing up is probably true.
Now, enough talk about the chief. Let's focus on the incident in front of us. I'm going to head out now.
Hey, what? While I was confused by the urban legend about the chief director, he quickly leaves the office.
Wait! Sena Aizen! Why are you going ahead? I'm of a higher rank than you know?
I couldn't help but call him Sena. It came out unexpectedly. Maybe it's because he's younger and still acts like a punk. Well, I guess I could call him Sena. I do feel bad for calling him a punk though. I pick up the files Chief Tanaka had given me and follow him to the parking lot. Hey, the music keeps going, thank goodness.
Okay, the car's license plate number is 55530. Ah, here it is.
I check the car license plate number and reach for the driver's doorknob.
Huh?
It seems Sena was thinking the same, and he reaches for the driver's doorknob and our hands intertwine. Oh, my touchy hands! OMG! Whoa! Sena opens his eyes wide in surprise and hurriedly withdraws his hand. What, am I some kind of bacterium? However, when I take a closer look at Sena, his face has gone remarkably red. Oh, look at that! So adorable! Exaggerated red. What kind of innocent idol is this guy?
Excuse me. Can you please move away? I can't open the door.
That's my line. You should get out of the way. I'm the one driving.
Right. I'm the one who's going to drive. So please, sit quietly in the passenger seat.
This is my thing. No one will protect the driver's seat. I'm confident that I can protect anyone when it comes to driving.
You know, if you speed like a bearded deer, we won't get in trouble if we get caught speeding.
Are you stupid? In what world does a detective get arrested for speeding?
I'm saying this specifically because of you!
It's been either a few minutes or a few seconds, and yet we continue our heated argument. However, Sena is bold. He stubbornly shows no signs of leaving the driver's side door. Will he not give in to his pride as the self-proclaimed fastest man in the world? Even though I'm older in age and rank, it's obvious that he wants to be superior to me. What a childish man he is. After a long exchange of glances, I decided to give him the driver's seat, realizing that it would be foolish to continue like this with him. Okay. Shortly after leaving G Prefectural Police Headquarters, we enter the old tunnel. Oh, he's so cute! Such a handsome man. Anyways.
By the way, do you know?
Sena, who's driving, asked me a question.
Know what?
This is U Valley Tunnel, the birthplace of a super famous urban legend.
That was my control! Sorry about that.
Urban legend?
Oh my god. By the way, it startled her. The word urban legend startled our poor girl so much that the controls shake. it felt her presence. The Blindman incident comes to mind, and I couldn't help but close my eyes. I remained seated at the driver's seat, and Sena, who seems to be in a good mood, continues to talk without noticing my small abnormality. I should probably get the control just in case.
You know, the one where a woman in a trench coat appears? Have you heard about it?
Maybe. What about it?
I asked carefully, trying to not show my nervousness.
Huh, the way you just phrased that. You're one of those people who thinks that urban legends are bullcrap, aren't you? If that's the case, it's better to talk about the incident now.
What do you mean?
The case we got. Apparently there's an urban legend involved.
Could you please tell me in more detail?
Oh, you're interested. Those people in the 1st Investigative Division are stupid enough to decide that it's bullcrap. You're different.
Sena happily begins to describe the incident at my request.
Well, these past few months there have been multiple murders and accidents in this prefecture. The 1st Investigative Division is frantically investigating this, but they still have no clue who the culprit is. However, I believe it's the same criminal.
Why do you think so?
I was curious about his assertive tone and asked him, and Sena answered without hesitation.
Well, it's because it's what I concluded with. The testimonies of the victims and witnesses are all urban legends related to the same woman. What's that look? Are you going to make fun of me after all?
Judging by his expression, he probably developed his own theories within the 1st Investigative Division, and his seniors may have laughed at him. No wonder. I would have had the same reaction if I hadn't experienced the abhorrent incident from the Blindman. Okay, there are two choices there. Decide to ask the details of the incident, or decide to ask the details of the urban legend. And I'm going to ask the details about the incident.
Whether I believe it or not, could you tell me the details of the incident?
Okay.
Sena straightens his posture. He seems a little surprised that there was someone who wanted to listen to him seriously. Oh.
4 strange incidents have occurred in G Prefecture in a row, and even the 1st Investigative Division is worried.
Strange. Just that word makes my heart flutter. I place my hand on my chest to calm myself. The intense heartbeat doesn't help.
Let's start with the first incident. The victim was a 4th grade elementary school boy returning from school. He was being dragged around in the rain. He was beaten up so badly that he died.
Sena spits out the details. What a terrible incident. Beating and killing a boy who was barely 10 years old is not the behavior of an ordinary person.
According to the eyewitnesses, the culprit was a tall woman with long hair wearing a trench coat.
The lady in the trench coat.
Torenchikotona! I think that's how it was in Japanese. In my head, the lady in the trench coat. I have been told many ghost stories when I was a child that she would smile eerily. Long hair, a trench coat. It's totally out of character. And on one hand, she would carry... So there are 3 choices here. American sack, a toad, 3-legged doll. I'm very curious to know what you guys think is... I'm very curious to know what you guys think she would carry. But I already know the answer. I just want to keep you guys in suspense. Literally, I am like Dora, where she would be like, and what would she carry? American sack? A toad or a three-legged doll? What is the answer? Oh, good God. But the answer is toad. It hits me when he mentions the dragging through the rain.
A toad.
Huh? So you know about it? Yes, that's right. The lady in the trench coat. It seems she ate the toe she held in her hand.
Ew! Oh my God!
And it was still alive.
She eats like the toe, like. Oh my God! Ew! Although I was prepared for it, when the words came out, my precum flowed backwards, linking with the images in my brain. I did my best to muffle the images that were emerging. Good Lord.
Next is the second incident. It happened at K Park. They say the victims were always couples. Many couples have been attacked so far, but for some reason, only the women are the ones who get attacked. They were sitting on a bench in the park when someone cut their ankles with a knife from under the bench.
Slash! What? Did he just seriously decide to do that?
So, were they killed?
Fortunately, no one was killed in this incident. However, the victims, the couples, they saw a tall woman with long hair wearing a trench coat running away.
I see. It seems that the characteristics of the first culprit are the same. Even as we speak, the car Sena is driving continues to drive through the tunnel with great speed. He drives smoothly. It seems his confidence earlier wasn't just for show. Of course not. He is the fastest man in the world.
Third incident. There were no fatalities either. The culprit, the lady in the trench coat, was wearing an eye patch on her face though.
The lady in the trench coat had an eye patch?
That's what I heard.
A lady in the trench coat who eats raw toads. A lady in the trench coat who hides under a bench. A lady in the trench coat wearing an eye patch. Both have the same clothing and stature. However, there are changes in the details such as the method of the crime and the characteristics of the person's appearance. Is this just a variation of an urban legend that spreads from word of mouth? No, it's still too early to conclude. This is a real incident. There may be some hidden meaning behind this.
In this third incident, the victim was a high school girl. She was attacked by the lady in the trench coat on her way home. The victim said that the lady in the trench coat asked her, "Hey, do you have any piercings?" She replied, "I do."
Big mistake. Big mistake right there.
And then she said, "Do you want to be like me?" Apparently, the high school girl's earlobe was bitten off along with her earrings. Oh my God!
She ripped it off?
The victim's earlobe was never found. They all been wondering where it went. Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah, it's been pooped out right about now. Ew! My heart tightens when I think of the physical and mental damage caused to the poor high school girl. From now on, every time she looks at herself in the mirror, she will remember the horrors of having her ear ripped off. Literally. A deep emotional wound that will never heal. Trauma. I can understand the pain of having to carry this burden. And then there's the fourth incident. The victim was walking down the street with an office lady in her 20s after having dinner at a hotel.
Were they also attacked by the lady in the trench coat?
Yes. One of her legs was chopped off with a machete. She barely survived, but she's been in a coma for a while. Oh my god.
Leg cut off with a machete.
Just like the high school girl from the third incident, this horrific incident makes it hard for her to be happy that she's alive. Yeah, but that's cool. Now she's gonna get a robot leg and be able to kick ass like in Cyberpunk. Synchronized with the terrifying experience I faced in the past, my hands start to sweat without even realizing.
What about the man who was with her? Is he okay?
It is said that the lady in the trench coat attacked only the office lady and ran away. Apparently, this fourth victim was told about the urban legend by a friend the night before. Perhaps because of this, she keeps mumbling to herself even at the hospital she's admitted to.
What exactly is she mumbling?
Kashima.
Kashima! Yeah, that's Teki, the one that cuts legs. As Sena says that, the car finally leaves a long dark tunnel. Well, we left the tunnel, but I doubt the clouds will clear. It's as if it's foreseen that the investigation would go awry. I don't know if I'm properly saying that word right.
The weather forecast said it would be sunny, but it looks cloudy.
The incident is more important than the weather. Can you please continue giving details about the investigation?
Oh, okay. Though, I don't think there's any more incidents. So, the first case references Miss Hikiko, and the second case references the woman under the bench.
I have never heard these urban legends before much.
The third case references Miss Kaoru. This is a derivative of the white thread of the earrings.
I heard a bit about that one, like the one where you pull your earrings and then you begin to slowly pull the thread of your eye. That's kind of what it is.
And the last incident references Miss Kashima, huh?
So, all four incidents mysteriously match the urban legends.
Admittedly, it's too good to be dismissed as a coincidence.
The testimony from the victims and witnesses are consistent. The culprit is the lady in the trench coat.
I see. Now I understand why I was assigned to the G Prefectural Police.
A strange incident that hints at urban legends. I guess I was chosen because I had survived the Blindman incident. I, Natsumori, unlike the other detectives in the first investigative division, must have been someone who did not deny the existence of urban legends and supernatural phenomena outright, but rather took the initiative to seriously investigate the matter. Is that the goal of the Chief Director or the G Prefectural Police Chief? However, if that's the case, then the Chief Director is acknowledging the existence of urban legends and other strange things. But is there really such a ridiculous story? When it comes to the head of the prefectural police, it's the curious class. I can't imagine that the authoritarian and the rational elite would seriously believe in strange incidents. As I speak with Sena, I notice that his driving is perfect within the speed limit of the prefectural road, and that he's able to have a conversation properly while driving well. Okay, there are two choices. Ask Sena's opinion on the case. Try a scary prank to scare Sena. Oh, come on. He's not 5.
Hey, Sena. Do you really think all 4 incidents are the lady in the trench coat's doing?
Of
Of course I do. The culprit is the lady in the trench coat.
But the method of these crimes and the age and gender of these victims are completely different. The only thing they have in common so far are their urban legends and the unidentified lady in the trench coat.
What's wrong with that? Isn't that enough?
A traffic light just a few meters away changes from green to yellow. I thought he was going to accelerate and brake, but Sena slowly steps on the brake and stops. Looks like he's not a rough driver.
Look, I am an idiot, so I don't understand difficult things. But all I can do is believe the words of the victims and witnesses and catch the culprit. If the victims who are suffering the most are saying the lady in the trench coat is the culprit, then why hesitate? I will definitely find the lady in the trench coat and arrest her! Isn't that what a detective's job is being all about?
That was surprising. I was surprised by the way he took the words of the victim seriously and headed on with it. It's an urban legend. It's a ghost story. This man, Sena Aizen, declared that he believes the eyewitnesses' testimonies that a normal police officer wouldn't.
Well, what's wrong? You just went silent for a moment.
The traffic light has turned green. Do you even know the way to the first crime scene?
Obviously, I know G Prefecture all too well.
Sena steps on the accelerator gently. He seems to be happy to have this conversation. It's not like I'm trying to deceive him, but I was at a loss for words because he's so full of purpose, contrary to his appearance. He seems to tend to completely believe the words of his victims, no matter what they say. Young people these days, although there isn't much age difference between us, they have an unusual way of life. It can be said that it is now an endangered species. From that point alone, I understood that Sena Aizen was a man with a strong heart, and I feel shame for making judgments based on his appearance alone. As a fellow detective, I felt Sena's words passionately, and his words of sympathy almost spilled in front of me. But I swallow my thoughts. I don't need a partner. As if it were a curse, I could force myself to accept it. Girl, don't be talking yourself so negative like that! Don't do that! I committed a sin that cannot be forgiven. If I let another irreplaceable friend die this time,
Okay, here we are. We're about to arrive at the first crime scene.
The fear of losing someone again is slowly coming to me. I avert my eyes away from Sena, as if running away.
Ooh. What? I forgot about that. The first incident scene was the so-called school route. Alright then. That is pretty much it. Yeah, as much as I would like to continue this episode, I am definitely going to be ending this one here. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you really did enjoy it, drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate it if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the first episode of Shin Hayarigami 2. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I love you all. I appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you on the next episode. Goodbye!